Welcome to Halfsies. I'm Molly McAleer.
I'm Rob Schulte. Hello, Molly.
I gave you something totally different to work with this week so you
Yeah.
wouldn't worry about mocking me or echoing me or not being your own person.
Hey, I'm always going to be my own person, but I appreciate that. And you're right. I would have overthought it. And look, here we are. Bruv, we're about to get into it with RS Tiki Talkie in it, bruv.
Okay, so I guess I didn't get to say that part of the reason why I wanted to, I don't know, give you a chance to express yourself is because this is technically a men's mental health episode. And it is so important that even during Women's Month, that we take time to talk about men's mental health. So men's mental health awareness.
Yes.
Rob, how did you not wind up to like to be one of these guys?
Well, I was gonna tell you a story because I think there could have been a trajectory of that happening if I wouldn't have gotten the hell
Mhm.
out of Dodge, right? I remember because we've talked about the game many, many times on this
Yeah.
podcast. Uh, but around the time I was exiting high school and going to community college, the whole red pill stuff was like inkling, right? Like, of course, there's like 60s and 90s like men's rights activists and stuff, but for our generation, it's like early 2000s that sort of stuff was starting to bubble and happen. And I remember that a guy I knew who I was very good friends with made some comment to me about how, like, anything you needed a man to do. Molly, can you hear me? Molly's gonna be back in just a moment. And now it's the Rob show. In it, bruv. But I could never get into MLM. Okay. That is something I would never do. Hello, welcome back.
Oh, hey, sorry. I
Uh,
literally, this is the worst possible thing done for your men's mental health.
I know. And it feels like it's on purpose, if I can be honest.
It's not.
I know. So I had a very close friend of mine tell me at community college that anything you needed a man to do in ancient civilizations because of technology, a woman could do now. And I said, "What do you mean?" And of course, I don't remember this crystal clear, but this is what my memory is telling me. He's like, "Well, guys are stronger, and so, like, they would have to go kill things, yada, yada, yada." And I remember it not really adding up, but I thought this guy was really smart. And, like, I brought this up as, like, because my interpretation of this was, "Oh,
Totally.
equality," right?
We're totally, yeah, exactly. Well, like, that's yes, mhm.
And I was like, "Okay, so great. We're on this sort of thing." And I remember, like, we had some philosophy class, and I had said in the class, like, "Wasn't it crazy?" And I, like, kind of aped what this guy said, but I tried to do it in this what I thought was progressive way, like, we all get to do everything now, right? And, that was met with a very stern, like, from the women and the professor of this class being like, "Oh, no, nothing is equal, Rob, and here are a bevy of examples." And I was like, "Oh, I really uh, don't know a lot." And I quickly never mentioned anything like that ever again because it's one of those moments in your life where you realize, like, I am not the center of the planet. My experience is different than someone else's. I should say it's one of the times in my life where I really realized that my life path was not the same as anyone else's, especially women. And it's
Well, yeah,
great.
but go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, like, and it really, like, made me go, "Oh, I can't just go spouting off every, like, what seems to be pseudo intellectual thing I hear from a peer because I could look like a big dumbass."
Well, this is why that sort of messaging is so insidious, right.
Mhm.
That sort of chauvinistic view.
Yes.
Because you thought, like, "Dope idea." Right? And it's
Well
because I think when you heard that from him, you had an interpretation that was, like, very innocent and well-meaning, and then that was probably a very awkward month in the philosophy class because you were the guy that had that opinion and you were repeating it well-meaning point of view, but, like, you have no idea how many men I've talked to in different scenarios, whether it be just through my years as a human interacting in the world or even just situations online where I see it, this mentality of, I think I'm saying something really bitchin' and woke. Um, but it's like actually manner 101 shit. Like,
Yep.
younger people that don't have experience talking about provider mindset and body count and generational wealth and alpha, Chad,
Mhm.
clavicular. I mean, no,
Mhm.
clavicular is kind of, I feel, drag almost. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just I feel like it creeps up so subtly. We throw back with the pickup artist stuff, the game. I followed that very similarly to the way that I follow the Manosphere, where I want to know what's out there. I want to know what I could perceive as a threat, what's shaping people's minds. People are always so like, what the fuck when they find out that, like, yeah, like, I'll listen to Impulsive from time to time. I'll
Mhm.
pop in and see what's happening on Rogan. I feel like if you don't sort of inundate with yourself with, like, unpleasant knowledge and see what other point of views are out there and pervasive, you are walking around the world at a handicap, you know?
Oh,
So
totally. And I think that there's
and so I
I
appreciate this documentary.
yeah, I do too, and I'm glad I watched it because it I think there's a lot of guys who may have been in my situation that would get so embarrassed that they would then go further into red pill territory or manosphere territory or whatever it would end up being at that point in time. And I'm not trying to like congratulate myself by any means. I'm more thankful that I was able to like be shooken to my core that I said something problematic, even though I was harmless at the time, right? It was like to provoke talking points in a philosophy class, but to then not get so embarrassed that I get defensive, and like, not drop the class.
Rob, are you wearing a high sleeve, like, or like a tank top? And or am I seeing your arms are very tattooed for the first time?
Yeah, what of it, bruv? Isn't it? Isn't it? I'll
Oh,
change
wait,
my
I didn't know. Let me see your tats.
okay,
Okay, if you
it's
don't
cut
want to
off for
do
the thing, but I've got this one,
it's
and
like an eagle in a square.
I've got this one.
It's trees.
Yeah, it's they're both from comic books, but we'll do another
Very
episode on Rob's.
cool.
We'll do Rob's tattoos as a halfsies, but I was
Yeah, we'll do all of our tattoos because I
yeah,
have a bunch of random ones too.
the tattoo episode. I think though, but Molly, for this episode, I made sure to go to the gym before recording.
Yeah.
So I've
You
got
wanted
my
to be yadded up. I meant to
yeah,
do the same
yeah.
today, but I'll do it after.
Okay, that's great. Wordiest Boo first half sees live. Great. We do 'em the live ones once a month. We might have some connectivity issues this one, but don't worry. The full episode's going to be up for you to hear in just a few days. Molly, the evolution, like I would say there's a distinct point in time though where the game and the pickup artist uh deviated into I don't even want to trick women into dating me. I just need to be all that I can be as a man, which is very depressing on both fronts, I should say.
What's interesting is, like, there's also the liver kings of the world in the manosphere, and I think they are into the traditional marriage, and I think, liver king is, like, into his money for sure,
Mhm.
but it's a complete opposite aesthetic and bottom line. And I think what is interesting is that these like crypto sort of shilling their, sexist, racist, deeply anti-Semitic POV, that they don't even like intellectually understand is their POV, to be honest.
Mhm.
Um, I I find it that they are in many ways much more beta.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
this is that manosphere being so obsessed with like gender norms and uh like just like, keeping your wife pregnant and having multiple women. It's like this is fantasy land. Like you're a fucking nerd.
And I loved that when Louis talked to who's the guy in Miami specifically?
Um the oh um Myron
Jesse.
from Fresh.
No, no, not
Oh,
Myron,
Jesse's
Jesse, yeah.
from, yeah, Jesse, yep, from
I
Louisiana originally.
originally Louisiana, but he was in Miami through most of this, and I thought that his was so funny because you could see look, you can see the cracks in the facade on any of these men, but Jesse's was so blatantly from a place of, like, please don't figure out that I'm phony. And I clocked that. Well, first of all, I clocked that before even watching the documentary, of course, but I clocked how aggressive the cracks were when we showed inside his apartment and there was that weird, like, eh, horrible hotel art of him like embracing his wife and like feeding her a cigar. Did you see that painting on the wall?
Yes, it's so strange. All of it's so strange, and, I really wanted to know with Jesse, right when we meet him, what happened around the car? Because he pulls up in this flashy car and, he says something to Louis about, yeah, my life's amazing. And then it cuts to what you can only imagine is the tail end of him ranting immediately about how he doesn't want that in the documentary. Like, I family is number one to me. Like that car doesn't mean anything. And he's in a really escalated place.
Yes.
And Louis goes, "Well, let's just not make a big deal of it then."
Yeah.
And it was the way that Louis did that, it is so it's well, because like, it's like that's something that I think you or I would know to say after just being years in as podcasters with someone, and then, like, or, like, on TikTok Live, I'll sometimes find myself saying that, and to see Louis, who I think is just such a fucking scientist at what he does, just sort of use that line felt very, like, I don't know, it just stood out to me, and also just that, like, this began with a rant, presumably began with a rant about him pissed off
Yeah.
about he already has a feeling of how he's gonna be portrayed, and he's really in his head about the
Yep.
fact that, like, he goes on, like, this, the Whatever podcast, or
Mhm.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Whatever podcast, but they're, like, really one of my darkest holes. I'll show you some shorts if
I w I would love just text them my way, and I will get them in the vid.
yeah. So the Whatever podcast is one of those places. It's a guy in California. I'm surprised that he's not even a mention of him was in it. Um, but he has like a bunch of only for old have sometimes a guy. He has this one really um foul
You hate to hear it,
or
folks.
something that only got called by one of the girls on recently got called out by one of the girls for having a wife that has 3 baby daddies.
Oh, that guy, yes, I know this podcast. This guy is
Oh.
the can we talk, like, a little bit, though, about the fact that we see it
Yes.
with Myron, like, they know that, like, "Oh, we play this up for the camera, we do the" is God, let's watch this clip.
Myron's been, like, the biggest tool. Yeah, just go through a couple. I sent you, like, a little YouTube short sort of
Yeah.
playlist of him.
Okay, one sec, let me share my screen here. Got
But I
it.
think he feels, like, very insecure about the fact that they always he's always getting called out on the fact that he won't even traditionally marry his wife, and so I think he has a lot of like, "My life is meaningful" energy.
I have
Anyway.
meaning. My life is meaningful.
Yeah.
That's what we all wanna know about this. Okay, I'm gonna press play.
It's dynamic. I believe a man should take care of a woman in every way, and I think that's what he gets to do
And of
as a
course,
man.
and
As a
from
man, and when you
and
come
then
across
when
a
I meet
real
the
man, you
mhm,
will accept that because you'd be happy to be in his frame. 'Cause you look up to him, you want to get behind him, you want to be on that ride he's going to take you on. You know,
exactly,
he
but I
he
also
wants
have
to
a
do these
certain
things.
point
Yes,
because I
but
come up
I'll tell you, a man is not going to sit there and listen to tell him your standards. I do believe that a man is going to want to take charge and control the
of course,
relationship.
and I
And
would like
oftentimes I think that women, particularly ones like you that are going to be a bit more headstrong, they're going to want to hold on to their independence until they find a man that they find is worth letting go. If you find that right guy and he comes through and it's just like you, it's everything that you think you want is no offense, not true. When that man walks into your life and you're going to know, you're going to be able to put a lot of walls down that you wouldn't previously be able to put down because the man is worth you being able to do it. And when you trust you can be inside his frame and you're safe inside of that, you will let go.
Let's find Jesse.
Search.
This is why kids kill themselves when their parents have porno. You realize
I didn't really think about it before I got pregnant, but after I did, definitely, again, I don't regret anything I've done in my life because it has gotten me to where I
No one
am
regrets
today,
anything
but
ever.
I wish I could have went about things differently. I wish I didn't fully get into being able for people to search me up on the hub and stuff. I'm fine with it, but
There's supposed
on
to be
the
Jesse. There's
hub,
no
I just looked her
Jesse.
up.
God damn it.
That's
You know what?
probably a star name, Jesse, but
It's
if you
fine if
type
you want.
okay, so if you go to that search the looking glass at the top next
Yes.
to posts, search Jesse or no, his name is, Justin Weller. We both keep calling him Jesse, but it's Justin, which I was thinking
We only have the one. We're gonna figure this out, folks. Okay, here we go. Oh
and
no, I can't have a destiny on here.
Man should take care of a woman in every way. And I think that's what he
mhm,
gets to do
Wait, wait.
and of
as a
course,
man.
and
As a
from
man.
God damn it. It's the same clip. And Molly's gone, folks. She'll be back. Don't worry. No more. I hate all of these men. I hate them. We'll never see them again, folks. But now it's time for the Rob Schulte hour. And here's the thing, we're all here to have a good time, right? And that's why these lives are a little crazy sometimes. And this, not quite, Molly. You haven't quite made it to the scene yet. And now you are there, but you still have bright red warning connection things on my end. Folks, I promise you the episode's going to be perfect. Oh, an indie punk scene story. I could never. I could never, not yet at least. But maybe I will while we wait for Molly to connect, which is fine, everyone. This is the real deal. This is what happens. Um hey Molly, you're back.
okay.
You're back.
Okay, I was just saying to search his name on the whole website, not just that unfazed clips
Oh,
thing.
okay.
But you
I
don't
can do
have to
it.
do it anymore.
Well, I can do it.
I mean, I
Justin,
think it would
what was his last name again?
like Jason Waller, Waler.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, guys. Oh my god, hi Meredith. Oh my god, we've got great peeps here. Sorry guys, I've been too scared to look at the chat because my internet's been such an S show.
They're going crazy on us over there. They're loving it.
Now ooh, hi Meredith. Okay, Meredith Lynch is here. The Friends Only crew is back together. Okay, I'm telling you, gotta get into some good we gotta get
We got
into
it.
some good content.
It's very
This is where
important.
I spend a lot of my time.
Well,
Yeah.
here we go.
Meredith Mike should be watching this for instructions.
get to all of your advice.
We
Want to
gotta get the
get to an
cigars.
important question, which is why the hell should anybody listen to your advice? Who are you that you're giving people advice?
That's a great question. I get stopped every day by a young man that tells me that it changed his life. And unlike an athlete or a movie star. I actually had a woman tell me this on the street in LA.
Holy
She said,
shit.
you know, the difference between you and other people I see get stopped is that it matters to them. And my favorite thing to say to these young men when they stop me is that me and you are no different.
Mm.
I was you 15
Mitch
years
saying
ago.
in the chat, I could just
Before we get
tackle
to all of
him.
your advice,
I love that clip. I was you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Downstairs in the elevator, getting in the G-Wagon, burning fuel, sitting in traffic to go to Publix,
Think about it.
getting out, looking around the store for what I want, going home, parking again, going back up the elevator, getting the pots and pans out, cooking. Oh, I save money. Bro, if you make any more than $15 an hour, that whole 4-hour ordeal is worth paying an Uber driver. I eat Uber.
Okay, so I get out
These
of bed and I'm like, oh my God.
rules.
I
Do
eat
his
Uber
day.
Eats every fucking day.
Do your impression of his day.
So I get out of bed and I'm just like, wow, do I get in the Lambo? No way. I just need to like put on some sweatpants and then I'm going to call Uber Eats. And you know what? I'm actually going to get my wife to also DoorDash some stuff to me because I know after I have my burger, I'm going to need a sweet treat and I work out. And that's why I can have a sweet treat. So while the Uber Eats is on its way, I go to my home gym. I never pay for a gym membership because what am I going to do? Pollute the environment with my gym membership? No way. And then I Uber Eats again. And then I look at my little videos about the Rizzler because that man is going to be an alpha. I tell you that right now. That is my example of what just happened there. While Molly is connecting again, we're going to watch another clip.
What I want for my daughter and my sons is to educate them fully in the real world knowledge of how this thing actually works. And if my daughter has all the information and she so chooses to be a hoe or a lesbian, help her to very meticulously vet based off the information I've given her of what the dude will look like, the little bitty things that she'll be able to call out and know. Then I just want her to have choice. Whatever she wants to do, I'm going to love her regardless.
Oh, God, I can't do this. My algo is fucked. It's fucked, everyone. And that's okay. That's okay. What I will tell you is Mystery the Pickup Artist is still going strong as well. Molly, did you know that?
If you're still,
Here's what I think you should do, Molly. I've
Did I
got an
know?
idea. I've got an idea if you're ready for it. She's gone again. Yeah, I think you're going to have to do it and then just come back in. Folks, this is still going to go on while Molly resets the router. We're going to have a little training session here. Let's see here. Show them the one you
of
just
your
sent.
alternative comedy.
My alternative comedy? God, you know just where to get me. Okay, folks. Well, we're going to watch a Nirvana the band. We want this, right? Isn't this what people want? I had a whole discussion about this. Okay, here we go. I found a good clip, folks. You're going to love it. And now we're going to make the screen bigger so we can watch it together.
No, can you relax, please? No, relax. You know,
I think I
it's
watched
just
this
help
one
people
on the
relax.
episode.
Oh, just relax, bird. Okay?
I did tell her that.
A hurricane is about to hit Jurassic Park. He doesn't give a fuck. What's your secret, Sam? Can say. My favorite city ever. Oh. The animals get manufactured.
No way, Meredith.
How is Sam Jackson so calm?
Mr. Queen Street Penis. Mr. Queen Penis. Queen of all the penis. Hey. What the fuck? Just watch. Smoke that. This makes you happy?
Hell yeah. Smoke that cigarette.
How do you feel?
I love that. I love that. What else do we got here? Oh no, he's popping up.
Here we go. Fake fans, real results. Okay, what are the results? Get the jersey on. I'll tell you. So.
Oh wow, PTA.
And the people are like, okay, yes, these are the big fans. But we're not fans. We don't know anything about you understand? Fake fans, real results. City. That's it. Toronto's hockey. We go to the game. People are thinking, oh my God.
I got a better one for us now.
It stands. All right, there, let's go. It was amazing. Everything
I'm
worked.
back. Can you hear me?
Molly's back. Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Hi.
I'm removing this clip from the screen now.
Sorry, I did not know what the fuck to do. And guys, I feel really bad because I was all set up. I was sitting here for like 20 minutes, like making sure everything was set up. And then and I sent Rod the link and I'd gotten it all up to the stream key. And now I'm just so bummed because like this is kind of my dream episode.
Oh, well, hey, the dream is still alive, Molly. This is why we get to do this sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Um, it's snowing in Kansas City right now, by the way. My mom just texted me this. So,
And it's 90 freaking degrees
yeah,
out here. How was
also,
her birthday?
yeah, shout out to my mom. It was her birthday yesterday. She's a Pi Day baby. You know those classic Pi Day babies.
3.14.
Yeah, she wanted to she wanted to buy a new house. She wants to move. She wants to move to a house with only one floor. And they didn't accept her offer, unfortunately. But that's okay. We still love her, and we still love that she's been financially responsible. And we appreciate moms who can plan, you know?
Yeah, I mean, was that like a concern?
No, well, not really, but I mean, like, I think there's a world where parents just think things are going to work out, and a world where parents plan, you know?
Yeah, I mean, according to Justin Wallen, his mom planned to burn the house down twice for for
Yeah,
for insurance money, and then there's no goddamn record of it.
that is weird because I do think getting back to Mr. Justin, like, at what point do you just start to believe the lie, right? You know
I'd
what
say
I mean?
early on.
Yeah, because I mean, people do this though, right? Like there's a portion of something that's true, and then that becomes lore, and then you just are the person who thinks that the only people that should be watching. Never mind, we don't talk about that. But you just start believing things, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thanks for yeah, I've been getting persecuted. And we won't say for what, but
No, of course not.
um,
Look, there's distinct podcasts, and we need to make sure that we only talk about those podcasts within their realm. It's
yeah, they can't exist.
they can't. But Molly, you didn't know about Mr. HS Tiki Talkie, bro.
Mr. HS Tiki Talkie. No,
Bro.
I'm obsessed with him. And, it's funny because so much of yeah, I think that not I think they bought into their legend about their families before they even started like a core part of their belief system has to be based on these perceived wrongs in their childhood, right?
Mhm.
And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, we have Mr. H.S. Tiki Talkie, who is, I mean, like, I can't believe that no one told me about him. This is something I'm so into, and I cannot believe that this menace has escaped me, and he's still on TikTok from what I can tell, but he's in Maribela, Spain, and he is, in my opinion, probably gay.
Oh, you think so?
I do think Aegis Tiki-Taki is gay, or something like
Interesting.
that. There's something else about himself that is probably in that area that he can't justify, acknowledge something. He says to Louis that, like, if he had a gay son, I don't know, I think he
He'd
said
disown him.
it'd be or he said I think it was even worse.
Well, he
Um
said a handful of things. I know one of them was disown.
Yeah, and so he's like, "But my mom, she'd be very upset if she heard me say that. She's very big on gay rights. She's very big on, women's
Women's
rights. She's
rights.
like,
In
and
it.
she hates racism," which I thought was she hates racism, I thought was, like, great, for some reason, because it's just like, well, I would hope so, but
Yeah.
the fact that
Mm.
you have to clarify that and think like that's I don't know, like, you would report anything but that is so wild. And, like, his emotional journey with Louis is fascinating.
Oh, yeah. And you could tell he's excited that someone wants to do a documentary about me, and then the moment anyone in the chat is like, "Oh, you're cooked, bro." He's like, "I could never be cooked, mate, because I'm totally honest about everything in my life, in it."
Yeah, well, he set himself up by, like, doing his first day with Louis and then posting, like, on the defense already. I don't
Yep.
know if someone had even said anything, but this got so much attention because Louis has a fierce following. I would say
Yeah.
more, like, than someone like HS Tiki Taki in the sense that if his name is mentioned in the video and it's being said that Louis is doing a new project about guys like him,
Mhm.
it's gonna be full of Louis fans who are just waiting for content like that to be served to them. And, like, he is known I would say that Louis is not known for takedowns as much as I would say he is, like, I don't consider him a takedown guy.
No.
But he is a truth seeker, and he always finds, like, a cross section of empathy in all of his pieces, like, where he has talked to the Westboro Baptist Church or the KKK or, just, like, really immersed himself in intense environments, right? I
Yeah.
don't think his stuff that he's been doing for Netflix overall is as good. I didn't like this I mean, I just thought the Scientology one was just okay, and I would r rate this as sort of, like, good, but, like, it doesn't really he's not really immersed the way that he would have been in his older work, right?
Yeah, he's not, like, walking with Alex Jones to that, like, weird owl lodge where the president's or wait, no, that's John Ronson. Anyway, doesn't really matter.
I love John Ronson too,
Yeah.
but, um, he goes to HS's house after seeing all the comments that people were that he was getting attacked, and I was like, you know, "I'm worried about how he'll take it." Um, and this moment he's bringing the most insane amount of energy. You can feel the energetic shift in the entire place from the day prior where he was sort of more like showing Louis his security and his what he called his like house cleaner, his dishwasher, this chick that was around. And so he shows him a video of him getting sucked off in the loo at
Yeah.
at the bar the night prior and Louis was like, "Did she know that you
Of course
filmed?"
she knew. Clout, clout.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting that Louis asked that, because that just like goes I guess it maybe is also a little bit of a hint toward what we know about some of this pedophile, shit that he does. Um, yeah, I thought it was very I thought the scene with his friend Ed was outstanding. We meet his friend Ed after this. They
Yes.
go out. And HS is not so much in the mood to be around Louis. He's basically gone for like the whole time. And
Yes.
Louis decides to follow Ed around. And Ed is actually like very charming out on the street. He is you know, he's just that sort of thing where it's like, oh, yeah, like occasionally like a guy that's like really gross will hit on you just in sort of like how misogynistic and disgusting he is.
Mhm.
But you'll be like, "All right." Like, you know what I mean? You're, like, not, um you choose not to be offended by it, I guess. Like, or sometimes it's so ridiculous, like, you can't be offended by it, right? And he's doing a lot of that. But then we find out that Ed has this, like, little side habit of doing what something we've talked about on Trend Lightly many times. You've heard me talk about it probably in a bunch of places, but this vigilante pedophile shit where they go after these vigilante groups, which is like illegal in several states now, because these like Chris Hansen-esque busts don't really go the way that they want and it's very dangerous for the person to be doing but with Ed like there's no way to confirm really that this person that he's meeting up with to beat the shit out of is a pedophile and they do things there's like a moment where they film one of these later on where it's like they go to some elderly man's house to beat him up on his birthday and HS says that it was too far and he deleted it even though clips promoting it went out everywhere.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, HS ends this, like, real there was also a really cute moment where, Louis and HS are talking on the street after Louis explained the pedophile journey, and some fan walks by, and is like, "Oh, is that a pedo bus or some, like, fan?" And he goes, "No, it's Louis Theroux, like, he's not a pedophile."
Thank you
And
for letting them know that.
I was dead. Yeah, I mean, it's just, this whole scene was this detour with Ed was very interesting, only to come back to HS saying basically I don't know, it sounded like he's just making something up, like he's me trying to get out of my, like, Boston College catering job during one of the summers, being like, "Yeah, I've gotta head straight to Ibiza."
Yeah, I've got work to do. I've got money to make, essentially,
Mhm.
you know?
I thought was, like, one of some of the best, like, consecutive minutes in this documentary.
What did you think about how, I guess I should say, subtle Louis was about essentially outing the scams of it all? Like, we get, you know,
Yep.
30 minutes in and he's like, "Yeah, I put $500 of my own money into this investment group they have." And then what, 10 minutes before the end of the film, it's just like, "Oh yeah, I've lost all the money I invested." Or the idea that, okay, you're especially with HS, like you hate women, you call them all these names, you don't think there should be OnlyFans, you think that's dirty, but you have a hothouse financier account of some sort, and so you profit off of it. And it all comes back to this idea of, well, if I'm making money, then that's what's best. It's the circular logic of what these guys do and how they don't
Well,
actually give a shit.
here's the thing, I don't know how many of the fans that participate in that actually believe that they are going to make money, and you're gonna say, like, "Well," I mean, I think most normal people would say, "Well, then, like, why
Hmm.
are they putting their money in?" And I think part of it is to just feel like they are a part of something. I
Yeah.
think that they don't mind losing money. It's like me in this fucking solitaire game that I'm addicted to. Eric asks, "Why am I putting money into this? It's just solitaire, allegedly, right?" But then, like, the reality is that, I start to explain it to him and he's laughing because it's like, he's like, "But Molly, that makes no sense. Why would you need to buy why would you need to buy into this solitaire app?" And I'm like,
Well,
"Because, Eric," I'm like, "because it's a fucking addictive phone game."
yes.
Like, the reason why is because it's an addictive phone game, and, like, I think if you were to break down one of these guys and say, like, "Why do you continue to buy programs from guys where there's, like, deep dive YouTube investigations into people looking into their programs and taking the programs and,
Hmm.
it not working and then explaining the scam," but they do it anyway because I think that these guys, I've heard them sort of subtly layer in, like, "Yeah, I'll be willing to talk to you." Like, people I'm willing to talk to kinda like they take the course, they stay updated, they're reading the newsletter and interacting with it, and so they encourage their fans on that other level of, like, "Maybe I'll be a closer mentor to you. Maybe you'll get your shot in front of me if you buy my $500 program."
You could potentially recognize my name. If
Yeah,
I go to your next event, it's like, "Oh, yeah, you're an investor. I remember you, Davey." And, like, the 2 guys that he finds on the beach who are, like,
dude.
doing the hand thing I was just doing that you didn't catch on to.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It was very subtle.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be done.
It and it's so interesting to me because those guys and then, like, the literal children that run up to Sneeko later in the doc are like, I feel like they get that there's a level of this is wrong, but they wanna justify that that's how other people have painted this person. It's as if there's a and I think we see this in political rhetoric all the time too, where, well, yeah, they've done some bad stuff, but we should vote for them because they're the lesser of 2 evils or something like that. And this is that to an extreme where, um, I think a lot of the fans will say that it's justified or the ends justify the means or whatever, but mainly it's just to get the heat off of them if they're being, ridiculed for it, when in actuality they just believe it and the actual content creator doesn't fully believe what they're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
Can I say one more thing real quick? Like,
yeah.
why do you think so many of these freaks, whether it be the actual streamers or the fans, all circle back to the same core conspiracy theories? Why is that? Is it because those are just quintessential dumb guy conspiracy theories?
I think because on a very, like, surface okay. Well, I think that all of this stuff is rooted in white supremacy, which is interesting because
Yeah.
when you said that, it's like voting for the lesser of two evils, I sort of was, when I didn't really know what to say, I was sort of in the process of working out something about how, um, I wonder where these guys would lay in the Charlie Kirk of it all. These younger
Mm.
kids, especially like the ones that run up to Sneeko at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Where would they fall into all of this politically? And, you know, we know that for the Fuentes fans, it was lesser of two evils,
Mhm.
Trump, because
Mhm.
they want something harder than Trump. And then on the other side of it, I know that a lot of these younger kids also are really into the Kirk of it all. And they sort of spring from two different backgrounds and are susceptible to two different things.
Mhm.
Like I would say like the kids who are more into like the Charlie Kirk stuff that fall um left of Graper. Like um you know it's like these are also tend to be like lower education level in general.
What, bruv?
And
Bruv, I'm
so
man
they
on earth. I do my own research, bruv.
they have what Eric calls Akron mindset. So Eric says there's obviously someone who doesn't have Akron mindset from Akron, and it's LeBron James. But Eric calls Akron mindset this sort of mindset that he thinks of when he thinks of people from Akron, which is where he grew up about, half of his childhood, which is that like they are chronically the victim of the world they live in.
Mhm.
So the Jews are against us. They control all the money. I have to go find some sort of alternative thing. Comes from this victim mindset deep within them. And I don't
Yeah.
think that you can really, I think that if you have um not that victim mentality, but like one other thing, you could also fall into this sort of like, the Rothschilds, the Illuminati. The By the way, the one thing over the eye, I
Yeah.
need to talk about this with you, Rob. When Louis says, "Is this um artistic or demonic?" I think he said.
Satanists, but yes, satanic.
Or degenerate, I think. No, he said artistic or something, and then he did get into the Satanist stuff, but it was artistic or um
Coincidence?
no, like defiled. It's some sort of like word talking about I think he was demonic. But
It might have been demonic.
so Sneeko goes, "Oh, it's demonic, obviously."
Yeah,
When
because
he's
they're covering one eye.
so people need to figure this out, honey. Hollywood has known about this Illuminati conspiracy that people have for a long time.
Yep.
And a lot of these artists play into it intentionally. So
Yep.
when I can't stop thinking about, like, how much dialogue has been wasted on, like, Katy Perry's Dark Horse video or Justin Bieber's Yummy video or, like, all of these things where it's like, yep, this is, like, elite Jewish pedophiles, like, eating, and they control eating children, and they control the media, and this is, like, what people who are also taking, like, the Epstein files on their face, this is what they all have in common,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I just, I
You
think
know,
Trump
if you fold a $1 bill in a certain way, it says "We eat children."
yeah, and I think people keeping, like keeping people uneducated and scared is, like,
Sure.
a really good way. And like one of the easiest ways to spot a grift is like someone who's pushing an agenda like, no, the system's going to teach you this. Like what you need to know to have my lifestyle is in my program.
Yeah, if you have all of the answers and you're the only one with the answers, big grift warning sign. I also want to point out like you're right. It's ignorance, low education situations. And that doesn't mean the person doesn't have like the ability to read because obviously they are reading Wikipedia pages and forums and watching videos. But when Sneeko is also like, yeah, and I can prove it. Remember Sam Smith's performance? And I'm like, yes, the Illuminati Satanists would like to put on a performance of Satan dancing on a stage, and that just proves their whole case is that a guy dresses up in a devil costume and people have sexual like dances. And that got Sam Smith and the Illuminati what exactly?
No, I know. And then Sam Smith, I think, was being, if I recall correctly, because I don't really care about Sam Smith.
Sure.
Even Sam Smith T is just one I'll just check out on. But he did something genuinely unlikable. I think. Like he was
Sure.
out with some friends and he was being really shitty to like someone on the street. Okay. And people started to say, oh, and you know what? And that shows that up in his satanic work. And
Mm,
then so there's this secondary wave and it's confirmed by something in real life that's actually just also unfortunate behavior
yeah.
and whatever.
It's
But
just
yeah,
annoying because it's like none of them can ever seem and Boo says in the chat like the critical thinking skills, of course, but like also and maybe this is just because there wasn't an answer and Louis didn't ask or asked it and it just wasn't good for the doc. But like I want him to give that through line. Like I want to know like okay, a guy does a performance dressed as the devil and then what? I want to know that end of these people because they can't give that because they just want to have the open-ended like yeah, we're all being controlled. They're trying to control you. I've broken out of the matrix, I control my own life. And I mean, sure. Uh you but you don't have any more of the ability than anyone else does. You're just trying to grift people
yeah,
and convince yourself you're not.
yeah. And I really do wish this is something I would love to push print publications, artists, etc. to do is to stop using Illuminati imagery in your artwork. And I'm not trying to silence you. I'm trying to say like the greater implications of continuing to put out publications where artists are covering one eye. So that
Or on a
you're
pyramid or
I
something.
mean, at what point like, is it worth it for that issue to live on in the history of, like, in various annals of, conspiracy theory history? Like, I just don't know, like, why they keep doing it. Like, it's a tired bit but then on top of that, like, why would you like, do you is it worth it?
Well, Molly, you and I both know that a lot of artists explain themselves after they've heard the response to their art, right?
Yes.
So they may not have actually gone in with something, or they've gone in with a crumb of an idea. Then they hear everyone's response and like, well, this was the plan the whole time. That's why it's so popular. And I just think,
Well, sure, but also I've never heard those artists say any of that. Like, I've never heard Katy Perry say, "Oh, we were playing with Illuminati imagery."
well, and I
It just
also just
allows
mean
the
like,
discourse to go on forever.
I just mean like boring people who look, you're right. I'm anecdotally coming up with this thing of like maybe not superstar performers, but like people who feel like I'm a creative and I'm going to put something together and then they wait for a critical analysis of it, and when it's good, they're like, "Yes, of course, this is what I was going for." And when it's bad, it's like, "You don't understand my art." And I think that Illuminati imagery is lazy the way that type of artist will latch on to something they've seen work before in order to just keep it churning.
Sure. You know, I'm gonna talk to you really quickly about my art. Um, so I had a realization after watching some of our clips from the Act on Demand improv
Mhm.
group. And I was hit with the realization that we got really close to and I had some help territory where I could not hear your opinion because I was so dead set on what I was so overindulgent in my just sort of like quest to maybe, I don't know, free these people of their cringe that I cheated you of a chance to really speak your mind on something.
Look, that's why Halfsies works, Molly, because A, in the moment, we're going to go hard on the thoughts that we have. Then we're going to reflect on those when we get the clips presented to us. And then we'll bring it up in the next episode. But I think that it's important to realize that like when we're dedicated to a thought, we're going to see it through. And that's why, we're going to have another Metal Gear episode coming up sometime soon. We're going to have another movie that we've seen.
I
Hey,
know, but I mean, can you imagine just 2 episodes apart? I mean, I'm willing to revisit I Had Some Help for the 3rd time. Well, because no, the second one we did was it Pour Me a Drink? Is that the one we did?
I don't remember. I
Yeah.
honestly don't even know what we're talking about at this point because
Alright, well, I was gonna say, can you imagine how crazy that would be if I did, like, a act on demand improv,
oh,
redo
I
next
see,
week?
I see. Yeah, I think you should because now it had been slightly in my feed. Now what I'm getting more than Act on Demand. And this is the Illuminati thing, Molly. It's
Yeah.
borderline. It's everyone doing their impressions and not the like cool hype up diva boots super montages. These are like the people just pretending to be an act on demand and all doing the exact same joke.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's I don't know, it's the way the fandom speaks out. You know what I didn't get to tell you last week because I just my mind wasn't organized enough for it?
Go.
But Red Shirt posted a video, so Red Shirt guy now follows me.
Oh hell yeah.
Did not hear a follow-up on what he thought of the episode, so I don't know if he listened and thought that we were
We got to tag him.
well, yeah, I did.
Oh.
But
Oh yeah, I saw that.
but um I don't know how many of them have their own pages, but Red Shirt Guy posted. A lot of you guys were asking the other night, if I have a girlfriend, and
Were
he
they?
did the well, so I guess he did a live, but I wanna see if I can find the video and play it for you because it's so great. But the whole video starting with, like, a lot of you were asking.
A lot of you wanted to know if I'm single. And let me tell you, I've had a lot of relationships over the years. And some have their ups, they've got their downs. I've loved hard, I've lost hard. And the answer is no, I don't have a girlfriend, and my DMs are open, ladies. That's me as Red Shirt.
I did
Obviously.
have an opportunity to ask him, you know, uh, I did have the opportunity to ask him if, like, why, I said, "Red shirt guy, like, big fan, I support what you're doing." I said, like, "Do you mind giving us insight into, what who made the who made the decision to put you on, like, your rehearsals on TikTok?" And he did not get back to me on that. But I
Oh,
maybe could invite him to be a guest.
that would be wonderful.
Okay, this is the video of him about his dating. Alright, ready?
Do you wanna send me do you wanna
No, I'll play it on my phone like this.
Okay, great. There, that's perfect.
Shirt guy here. Sans red shirt. Now, some people have been asking me, hey, red shirt, are you single? And I'm here to say, strap in, because yes, I am single. I'm as single as a Pringle. Now, and possibly looking for Miss Red Shirt. Now, what are some of the things I'm looking for? Well, someone who likes to go to the trampoline park on a random Tuesday afternoon. Just for fun, for funsies, adventure, intrigue. Someone likes to go on long walks. Not in the summer or the spring or anything like that. That's lame. No, dead ass winter. I want someone who likes to feel the cold sting of the wind against their skin.
On his nipples.
A movie they want to see.
Tight shirts.
A movie they've heard of or done research on? No, a random ass movie they've never heard of. You know, adventure, intrigue, spontaneity. And like
He's
someone
a letterbox hater, and I get it.
also someone who says they want to go skiing. Yeah. The more you know. Hello.
Can I tell you what I like about the, red shirt guy's comedy
Every
stylings?
Yep.
He's gonna tell you, like, what you think is the standard answer to a question. He's gonna flip that thing on its ass, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, that is like the exact opposite of what I thought a good date would be." And that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, I do like the one I'm gonna really support this for red shirt guy. The person who, like, likes to ski, they say they wanna go skiing, but they don't actually have plans to go anytime soon.
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, I mean, that's kinda me."
all into type 2 fun. I learned about that on one of my other podcasts, which of course we don't talk about.
What type 2 what's type 2 fun?
So we
Am I
had
on that
no, I
podcast?
don't think either of us are in there,
Hey,
but we had
can't
a
stop thinking about Bill,
no,
your
hey,
friend that I kind of made fun of, and then
Bill loves you, by the way.
well, can Bill come on the podcast? Can we
Yeah,
do a
Bill,
Fullsies Bill?
Bill, I
Yeah.
know you're a day one listener. Like when this drops, Bill, we need you on Halfsies, and I'll also text you about this. But Bill,
Bill, when I saw your sweet face, I couldn't have felt worse, which I know you probably don't want me to feel, but, listen, sometimes I play too hard, and I'm a puppy with big paws.
I'll tell you this, Molly, you've got Mamba mentality. He's got meerkat what's the one that kills snakes? Mongoose mentality. Okay.
Oh, I like okay, yeah,
Bill's
mhm.
got mongoose. Bill's the mongoose. You're the mamba, and I'm just here trying to have fun with my friends.
Yep. Okay, sorry. On your other podcast, you found about type 2 fun.
Yeah, because my co-host Kate is married. I am in a long-term relationship, but our friend Ryan came on, and he was talking. He was informing us about dating apps on an episode, and he said like people will put. And I don't know if this happens to be because he's gay. Maybe this is on the gay dating apps, but he said a lot of times people will put type 2 fun, which means like you like to go hiking. Like type 1 fun is like, we'll go on a date and get ice cream. And type 2 fun is like, we'll go mountain bike riding
Oh,
or
Christ.
yeah. And I don't like, can we just say I like to go to the trampoline park? Come on.
No, I can't get it. I can't get I mean, yeah, I do like, that he likes trampoline parks. It also feels like, Eric doesn't need to worry. I know he listens to this now. You don't need to worry, honey, but I like that, I like to go to Dave& and Buster's. I feel like that's very similar.
Um, I think in spirit, yes. In spirit, yes.
Well, anyway, okay, so back to this Manosphere documentary. What do you think's going on with HS Tiki talking his mom? That
Okay.
final scene.
So someone in our chat, I forget who, it might have been Boo, said that they think HS Tiki Taki's mom runs the show.
I kind low key, something like that.
Think that
I think so.
I think that she likes the money that's been brought to the family, but this also makes me feel like I'm Myron being like, of course, the mom likes the money. She's there for the money, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm trying to get at. But I think she has convinced herself that her son has, like, you're always going to, you're not going to like everything your kids do. If you did, you were lying. That's what she says. Sure. But that's about like, most kids are kind of like little pricks this isn't that. But I think she is entered into the devil's bargain where she likes having a new car.
All right. So, there was that segment at the end where we got to see a young HS Tiki Taki doing the Chubby Bunny challenge
Mm-hmm.
when he was probably like 9.
Yeah.
Okay. We heard about how she has like worked her entire life was about him as a
Yeah.
single mom,
Yeah.
which is like a great credit to a single mom, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that she would do anything to support her son and that he is her world. And so I would not be surprised. I'm not trying to be too conspiratorial here. I'm pitching just a theory on what I think is possible. I
Well,
don't think that it's just that she likes the car,
I'm
right?
not saying that either, just to be clear. I'm saying there's a level of like, I worked hard to have this life.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And I didn't
mean,
mean to take
Georgia
that away from
points
you,
out in
Molly,
the
but
chat, she got him to clean the floor. No, I didn't think you were taking away from me. I just mean that, like, I think she would have supported anything he wanted to do. I think part of him probably did always, like, hope to land on something like the YouTube fame. She was always going to accept her son for whatever. But, like, yeah, she, like, was like, "Get down and clean the fucking floor." Like, Louis said it took an oddly domestic turn. And I thought that
oh,
that was a
yeah.
very good way to say that, like, you typically don't see um, an influencer like that, like, interacting with their mother in any sort of like, anything outside of just, like, the mom sitting enjoying the son or something and being like, "That's my mom," and, like, "I'm so proud of him," or whatever. But, like, this sort of day-to-day life stuff, like, "You're gonna make me look bad."
Yeah.
Like, if you do that and that was just very interesting that he included that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was great. I also thought it was telling, and I mean, they say this in the doc, right? Like, HS couldn't really even. Well, was this in a doc or something I watched afterwards? Anyway, he really couldn't come up with his own questions. He was just asking Louis like gotcha questions that were provided by the chat. And I mean, obviously there's some tricky questions that come up, but Louis just doesn't really answer anything, which is good because he doesn't need to be put on his heels on his own doc. And I don't know if I would be able to, not that I have to put myself in his own shoes. It's just like I commend Louis for like keeping a stone face when you've obviously riled this guy up.
Yeah, yeah, um, I'm sending you a video of HS Tiki Taki and his mom. It's from I think his YouTube vlogs because I remember when like the first comments were coming in about this on Twitter, and I haven't seen too much about this on Twitter except for um I think like some comments Sneeko made or something like that. But someone who was leaving a general comment after watching the movie said, "Well, like everyone knows HS Tiki Taki and his mom are weird." And
Oh,
I was, I mean, I don't know. This man has somehow eluded me. Yeah.
let's watch it.
Prove if I ever cared.
No, I wasn't.
No.
No,
Why? Why?
because you don't.
Would you not want to look after him
You don't.
in demise?
What about if him was a her?
All right, or her. It's going to be a him though. It's already programmed.
Why would you have a child for me to look after him or her in Dubai?
No,
And you
I'm not
want to be
saying. I'm
around.
not saying
You
all the
want to be
time.
around your child all the time, and
What do you, okay. Like, did you get the sense that she did not want a girl? Because she's off this whole idea. And he's like, "What do you mean his? Like, what if it's, And then he starts to add that it could be a female. But like,
No,
she almost looked horrified by the idea of having a granddaughter.
Well, he says he keeps referring to his son, "Would you watch it?" And she's like, "Well, what if she's the one who suggests what if it's a her?" Like
Sure.
trying to correct him that like you're not just gonna have a boy. You might not have a boy.
I don't think the tone came off though, like,
Let's watch it again.
You
Roll
don't.
it back.
okay, all right. I'm
Would
just
you?
gonna say, yes, I understand that that's what happened, but also I do wonder. I caught on to a little something, but uh, uh, it's cool. Let's play it.
Okay.
Prove if I have a kid.
No, I wasn't.
No.
No,
Why? Why?
because you don't.
Would you not want to look after him
You don't.
in Dubai?
What about if him was a her?
All right, or her. It's going to be a him though. It's already programmed.
Why would you have a child for me to look after him or her in Dubai?
No,
And
no,
you
I'm not
not be
saying. I'm
around.
not
If
saying
you
all the
want to be
time.
around your child all the time, and if you don't, then you shouldn't.
No,
You shouldn't have it.
it's not. No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
look at that little girl. Look at that little girl. Look at her.
Yeah, so cute. It's like
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong about the judgment there. I just felt it was an additional layer of judgment because she likes that little girl.
Yeah, I think that it's very odd that she's in more videos. Like it seems like maybe this is a regular thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think so too. Like
Yeah.
someone said, everyone knows HS and his mom are weird. And so, like, I assume there's an illustrious history of the two of them, like fighting on his YouTube or whatever, or his kick.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think he's
yeah.
in love with his
I
mom?
I mean, I think it's something like that. Like there's his HS mom reacts to HS shaving off all of his hair. Hold on, I'll send you this next.
Okay, great.
I think it's either part of the freak show, but I think it's genuine. There's I'm sure you've heard about the YouTuber Eugenia Cooney, right?
No.
She's like one of the all-time anorexics, and she is a goth girl who is skeletal. She's probably like, maybe 80 pounds. It's been like a miracle that she's been alive forever. She actually has been offline for a while because there's a big lawsuit going on against TikTok and Meta, where like I guess a former child is suing, and their parents are suing TikTok and Instagram for what they have allowed on their platform that has, basically decayed their mind.
Yeah.
And Eugenia Cooney is one of them because, like she's just the sort of thesis of her content, like underneath the underpinning of everything, whether she realizes it or not, is that people watch her to see that she's dying.
Oh, well, let's watch HS
But her mom was
TikTok.
very influential in that, and that's why I'm getting
Okay.
that.
Is HS Tiki Talkie dying? Let's find out in this video.
your opinion on my trim. Suits me. Are you just saying that because you're my mum? Yeah. I slap my head for a clip. Slap it hard. All right, chill out.
I mean, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. I mean, she seems tolerant there.
Yeah,
But I'm not opposed to the idea that she's maybe a little bit more than tolerant.
yeah, I think that like we've like barely even talked about Myron, and that's okay because I think he's
We have
probably
time. We can just talk about Myron really quick.
well, the whole big thing is that like all of these people realize what gets them more clicks and likes and engagement, and they lean into it, and then you just know Myron would lay in bed with his ex-girlfriend and go like, "Oh, baby, you know I would never do anything like that. You know I would," and then pushed by Louis is what makes that woman think about things differently and leave him essentially.
Yeah.
And so I
Um,
guess to give anyone who didn't watch the update on Myron, like he hosts the what, Fresh and Fit podcast.
Fresh and Fit, and that's, like, one of the biggest that's, like that was a huge disruptor in the space, like, they were when they took off, they really took off, and it was for the worst shit, like, unbelievable, like, they didn't even show anything. Maybe it was just because I was so less, sort of desensitized to it, but they really blew up on the scene because and I would say, like, reinvented a format because, like, everything else since then, like, including, like, Pearl's, like, podcast thing
Oh,
she had in London, is all based off of, like, the ethos of Fresh and Fit.
gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so, like, the Whatever podcast is probably came after that too.
I think it's lateral. I think that
Okay.
Whatever might have been right before, but Fresh and Fit also with the dark set in the nightlife feel or
Yeah.
whatever.
The
Whatever
very,
is
like,
it like
Baywatch
really
Nights vibe of it.
yeah, whatever, like, to me is so marked by that fluorescent office lighting, and that is what it's visually a completely different experience.
Does that co-host ever talk?
The Asian girl?
No, the other guy that's always there.
Oh,
Is
Mike?
is that Mike? I don't know.
Okay, no, so there's no okay, the guy with the black hoodie behind the
Yeah, yeah.
computer, he is yes, he talks, but he also acts mainly as, like he does most of the talking, like, where
Oh,
he'll be like, "How do you rate yourself?" or whatever, and these are sort of the conversations, and he will personally go back and forth with them a little bit, but he also plays a bit of a moderator role at times between whatever heels they bring in.
and we've got
So
Stacy calling from Akron who has a
yeah,
question about if she should cheat on her boyfriend, that sort of thing.
well
If 5 feet is too short.
well, so actually whatever is a lot like Fresh and Fit and that there is a live chat that is going in on these girls the whole time that really, I think, takes up a lot of the guests' mind and space, and, like, you really have to the people who succeed on this show don't read the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah.
But there's also super chats that are read out loud, and people
You could
pay
pay for
extra
those, yeah.
money. Yeah, and, like, Fuentes and all these people use it, and it's, like, a really great way to, like, get extra cash, but, like, the chicks go fucking nuts over what's in the chat, and it's, like, it'll like, that will stoke the environment a lot of times, like, there was one I watched where, um, like, they were really getting into like what your worth is and like kind of really particularly badgering this girl about her status as a someone who wants all of these things in life but has done all of these sexual things or being on OnlyFans or whatever. And another guest was like, no, don't like they're literally this is their way of degrading you. Like they're
Yeah,
getting off on this, don't respond to them.
yeah. What did you think about the calculator that Myron has that they put in where it's like, "So what type of man do you want? 6
Oh,
foot, has to make $300,000." They're, like, going through this whatever calculator, and it's like, "So the man you want is less than 1% of the population, so where are you going to settle? Because 'Cause we're all gonna settle." And it's like, what are we doing here? You're asking someone their ideal, and then you think they're gonna be shocked that they're not gonna get everything that they've ever, like, if you tell me what my idea what? This is
well,
mm,
it's like such a thing where they don't, like, even acknowledge, like, a binary,
yeah,
basically, where
yeah,
they will say, like, "No, everyone thinks like this."
I know.
And, like, so and by the way, like, when I was, 23, like, I had all the same checklists for things that I, like, wanted in a person, like,
Let's go over it. Let's go over it, Molly, right
they
now.
had to have a college degree. Like,
Yeah.
college education was so important to me. Like, I did like guys over 6 feet, hair, light
Mhm.
eyes. I mean, like, honestly, it was, like, Eric in a lot of ways,
Looks
like,
like you got everything you wanted.
you know, uh, but then, like, yeah, like, I think on even more levels, like, maybe I did want them to have, money or something, right? Like, that would have been nice because I think I was so broke. But then, like, I also very much, like, did not always date in line with that, and, I think I'm part of, like, the real world. So, like, they're dealing with these people, and they come in and they say, "Well, if these are your preferences, this is just further proves that everyone is operating from the same place as me." And Louis did a great job of pointing out, like, no, some people might value, like, a personality and a sense of
You might
humor.
value something other than eye color at a certain point
Yeah.
in time. Like, or uh, humor might trump height.
Right,
So
right, right.
we're not asking about that because you
Yeah,
can't
and I mean,
calculate that.
I've dated some, like, almost punching above my weight type hotties, okay? But then I've also dated some fucking bridge trolls. And, I was
Name them.
happy in all of those relationships at the time. Name 'em.
Just kidding.
No. Name 'em. What is that from? That
I think Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Name them. Sutton, yeah. And that's the thing. I love to paint with a wide brush about all men, and I've done it on a couple episodes here, mostly about those who join improv. But what I'm going to say here from my own personal anecdotal experience is I would I would like to know where these men are, like a Myron, honestly, in their like self-conscious era. Molly has gone away, folks. So I'm going to say this question to you. I'm speaking to the void, and then we'll go into the chat. Because personally, I have always had body image issues, which I know is no strange thing to anyone on earth ever. But I always never, ever thought that I was like an attractive person. Like all through high school, college, I was always overweight. Even when I ended up losing weight and getting kind of fit in college, I still thought I was overweight. And I couldn't imagine anyone ever being like physically attracted to me. I know, shocking, right? Um, but then I think that like that is so common with people that I would love any of those guys.
Hey Siri, text Rob Schulte.
Hey, I can hear you.
My plugged-in computer just died. Period. I'll be there in a second.
uh, and so like I want to know like the Myrons of them. I would love to hear them talk about like that because that is exactly why they now feel this because they're like, of course, this is how everyone thinks. And you're right, Meredith. It is Meredith saying in the chat, like, that it would have to make them be vulnerable. And they can't be vulnerable because that's not alpha, that's not masculine, that's not um, anything they can be. They have to be overbearing, they have to be on top of it, they have to do all these things. Molly just set off other people's Siri. That's really funny. Um, and I think that it is. Hi, Molly.
My plugged-in laptop just died. I had to switch out
That's
laptop
okay. Hey,
chargers
we're here.
altogether.
We're
I think
here.
I have too much stuff on my, computer from that other podcast, and it's also
Oh,
like no, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I just downloaded a huge video files. Okay, wait. So, all right.
I can give you the quick 1-2 on what I just talked to the chat about.
Okay.
And that's that basically I have always like had, like most people, body image issues. And I was very overweight in high school and I lost a lot of weight in college, but that did not take away from my body image issues. And I am wondering why these guys, I would love to hear a Myron talk about like where his that was, right? Because I couldn't think it was possible for anyone to ever be attracted to me. And I have to think this is what these guys have thought at some point in time in their life because they were nerdy YouTubers. But as Meredith pointed out in the chat, that would mean they'd have to be vulnerable, which goes against the ethos of what they're trying to project on their shows.
I mean, I think honestly with Myron, it's like racism.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, I mean, he also was not like super tall, like whatever, but like, I do think that for him, the way he is just awful.
Oh, I mean, I remember the clip where he was talking about how he would smack a bee and stuff. And then when he was was it also him saying, like, I dictate when it's time to get dick down or something? Oh, God.
Prison.
Yeah,
And,
that's,
in a big way.
yeah, that is, and the way he had to like walk that back when confronted about that directly is so like, yeah, this is you. This is you. You walking this back, that is you. That's
Yeah,
your personality.
you're a little bitch. I
Yeah.
mean, well, that's and his other guy, I think the guy that he co-hosts with has gotten, like, markedly less, Manospheric.
Oh, interesting. They can
Mhm.
still learn.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess, but I think that Myron's gone too hard for him.
Well, even Sneeko like acts like he's above the manosphere now that he's converted to Islam.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, here's the thing
I'm
is,
not
like
saying he is. I'm just saying like,
no, I mean, like, the thing is, like, I think he considers himself to be part of, like, the other echelon of it, which is, Louis even mentions, like, a lot of, like, comedians are in this, and I think that
yeah.
Sneeko considers himself to be more in, like, the Aiden Ross, which is, like, low-key at a point comedy adjacent, and we get into the Theo Vons, the Andrew Schultzes, we get into those people, which are definitely Rogan. It's all a
Mhm.
part of a they're all part of the same, what
They're
do you
just
call those graphs where you put one in a circle and then lines out?
Venn diagrams?
Mhm.
Oh, no. I know what you're talking about.
Cloud,
Yeah, like a brainstorm.
yeah,
But here's the thing, if Sneako's not careful, he's about to be in the Illuminati. Keeps growing. He's
I
gonna
know.
he's gonna
Well,
be up there chanting with Lily Tomlin.
oh, is that the girl that said the not wait,
No,
Lily Tomlin, the actress?
yeah, I think there's a what's his name? He does that podcast, Best Friends with Andrew Santorino or whatever.
Mhm.
Uh, Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee, like, said he saw Lily Tomlin and other actors, like, in robes chanting at some point. I'm like, "Dude, what?
What?
What?"
Where
I saw a clip of it. Oh, I don't know. It's some, like, event, right? Like, where is it always? Elite Hollywood party, right? Don't go behind
I don't
this
know if I've
curtain.
said this on this podcast or not, but, like, I dodged potential serious cancellation at the hands of Bobby Lee. Not really,
Oh,
but I was called out for an audition. Tell me if I've told you
I
this. I was
I I don't
called
know
out
this story.
for an audition, and I never advertised myself as an actress in any way because I can't be anything but myself, and I kinda clam up in front of, like, big cameras a little. But, because I was like a daily face on Defamer and I had a very specific attitude, people thought that I would be a good actress. So, like, there
Mm,
was a few things I went out for things like Greenberg and, I went out for Kat Dennings' role in that Marvel thing. Like, okay, one of my first ones was this Bobby Lee Comedy Central pilot, and the character was a cool white girl
okay.
that could skateboard and, also, like, spoke Korean fluently and, like, was just sort of like this badass girl. And, I go to the audition, I read my lines, like, I do the scenes. And then they say, "Can you just speak some Korean?" And I said, "Well, I, like, learned a couple words because I know that, you wanted me to do like, you wanted to know that I could maybe pull it off." I prepared a little bit. And so I, like, said the sentence or, like, the few words that I had learned, that were, like, kind of like, "Hi, how are you?" Like, "Pleasure to meet you today," like, something like that, right? And then the And then the casting director goes, "Can you just, like, speak in, like, made up Korean?
Oh, ooh,
Like,
uh-oh.
just make it up, like, improv it." And I was improv. And I was like,
Can you
um
do some Korean on demand?
No, I can't, Ron. But no, but I was like, I don't know if I should do that because, like, it was, and I'm kind of proud of myself for knowing this
Yeah,
because, like,
yeah.
I'm sure most people just went in and did that. But, like, I'm aware
Mhm.
of the fact that I'm on tape, and they were like, "No, Bobby won't care. Like, just do it." And I was like, and I don't think they were trying to trap me. I think they just wanted to know if I knew what, like, noises were more
Mhm.
familiar in, like, Korean or what. And I just kept being like, "Hmm." I was like, "No, I'm sorry. I just don't feel comfortable doing that." And so I, like, leave, and obviously, like almost anything else I ever did, I did not get a call back. But, I'm so glad that, like, even at a young age, I worry sometimes about, like, was I an asshole? Was I a piece of shit? And then I think about things like that, and I'm like, "You know what could have existed of you? Like, you acquiescing and doing a, like, made up what I think Korean sounds like."
Could have been you, Molly.
I mean, I don't think that that was ever the point of, like, trapping
Sure.
people with
Of
this
course.
footage, but, like, I don't care that Bobby doesn't care.
Yeah.
I
It
I
doesn't that's not gonna make me do it, by
no,
the way.
exactly. Like, I'm sure he doesn't. But yeah.
I've never been in anything like that, but I will say I did graduate in theater and film. I've treaded the boards a time or two, and I think I don't know if I would have been able to be that strong because you gotta listen to the director. Everything I learned at in acting school in Kansas is you have to do whatever the director tells you to do. And
You do, you gotta.
yeah.
Okay, wait. So, what else from this documentary really captured you?
I think that I don't even think guys like HS Tiki Taki might know that they're scamming people. I think they are so invested in the ends justify the means on me making a lot of money that they convince themselves that what they're doing is just the cleverest thing on earth to make money. And if anyone else put their mind to it, they would be doing the exact same thing.
You're right. I think that there is, like, in in my opinion, an easy takeaway is that, like, these guys cannot fathom the level of damage that they're doing
Oh yeah, not
to
at
real
all.
people. And, like, I mean, I don't really even take this up so much on the porn element of it, but I thought it was really interesting. Like, Louis confronted HS about, like, why do you promote OnlyFans on your page if you're disgusted by porn? Because, like, there's a runner of him having, like, Bonnie Blue on his podcast, and, like, Bonnie Blue's blowing up for her big stunt at the time. Um, you know, and HS Taki is invested in several OnlyFans things. We meet one of the girls who was known as, like, the sexy plasterer. She like
She's not
plastered.
even throwing clay pots.
No. It's so funny that you know about the clay pot guy, but
Oh, I know about the clay pot women. I did not know about
oh.
that.
Oh, sorry. There was this, like, guy that was, like, huge on TikTok where he was so young that I was like, "That's not for me," but, like, I could see how his material very much lent to that gaze. But, she's plastering houses, and he's like, Louis says, "What do you think? What would you think about the fact that, like, HS Tiki Taki, finds OnlyFans disgusting?" She's like, "I don't really care." And I believe that's true. I believe at that point they're all sort of in this big
Yep.
transactional relationship. But Louis asks him, "Why do you have OnlyFans links in your, like, I don't know, link tree or whatever? Why do you have them if you're against OnlyFans?" And he says, like, "Well, I think it's like, I think it's gross, but like if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it."
And I'd
And I
like to
will
make money off of that.
and I will say this, I borderline respect it because on something like that, it's such a moral vague issue. It's like, well, it's like, I don't know, like a drug dealer being like, "Look,
You
like
don't
you're
get high
gonna
on your own
try it."
supply, right?
Yeah, and like I do support drug dealing a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I do support that.
I think
So,
there should be a level of money that we cannot trace. I think that's important.
yeah, but no, I just mean that like,
I mean it.
yeah. Oh, okay, good. I mean, I was honestly one of my big L's for Joey B was the regulating crypto.
Yeah.
And Eric was like, "No, it's good." I'm like, "No, you're not fucking in this the way I am if you think this is good." You don't believe in the project. But yeah, I thought that there was something sort of refreshing about him saying that. Like where it's like that might be the most transparency there is in some of their business models.
Sure. I
Like
agree.
don't like don't ever do nicotine, whatever, and then it's like, a Zyn uh coupon link at the bottom.
Molly, I think this is a good spot because we've hit everything that I wanted to talk about. But is there anything that we haven't talked about that's been on your list?
No. Uh, oh,
Questions in the chat.
Age of Attraction
Oh,
on
tell me about
Netflix.
it.
So when I was done watching this last night, this movie, I was watching it for the second time, then I watched it again today. Um, it gets auto-fed into this new show, Age of Attraction, which is hosted by disgusting Nick Viall and
Ugh.
his child bride. And what it is a bunch of people who sort of live in that spectrum of you're either 18 or 72. And so there are a bunch of people that like all kind of really don't look their age.
Mhm.
And the experiment is to see if like they can meet someone and connect with them and then find out their age when they go to the promise suite. And in
Oh,
the promise suite, they exchange promise rings and find out each other's age, but I think they have to do the promise ring first. So
I
then
mean,
yeah.
this sounds very entertaining and disgusting at the same time.
So, go to the reveals. Like, up first is a guy who literally in every way is Prince Harry, but he's 29 years the junior of the woman that he gets with, but he's, like, kinda mature, but, like, I think it's
Mhm.
29 years, okay?
Okay.
And then, like, oh, oh my god, there's just like, oh, it's sick. Like, there's a 38-year-old with, like, a, 21-year-old, and, like, there's a 60-year-old woman with a woman, you know, there's a 60-year-old man with a woman who is, like, now, doing celibacy for Jesus, and they get together, and then the next thing is they're gonna, like, move in, and at the end, they have to decide if they're too ashamed of their relationship to introduce them to their family,
Oh god.
and,
The answer is yes.
the way that fucking Nick Viall's wife, what's her name?
Oh,
Angelica?
I don't remember, but I know that she's, like, in high school. Not
She
really, I was making a joke, folks.
she sort of leads the intro talking about how, like, it almost makes it sound like she kinda pushed herself on Nick.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
Nick is like, "Yeah," and then, like, when I had to ask myself at the end of the day if her age mattered to me, I decided, like, no, it didn't.
Oh, you don't
Because
say Nick Viall.
But yeah, so Age of Attraction, is also something I'm onto from Netflix, and, yeah, that's the last thing I want to say. But Rob, Any final words from you?
I think that if anyone missed my story of narrowly dodging the manosphere in my youth, just know that if it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone. It didn't happen to me, so it doesn't have to happen to anyone. And I think that we should call anyone out that we see acting this way
Yep.
in our day-to-day life, even if you think it's a hint of this. And
Say something. Say
don't
something.
yeah, and don't even be like the holier than thou, like Twitter version of this. Just ask them questions that make them look stupid, and that's how
Yep.
you're gonna get them.
Thank you. Yes, Rob. Well, you guys, I'm going to try to creatively edit this if you're watching this on live or if you're listening now. I'm going to do my best to creatively edit this because I kept having internet issues, but this was fun to do live. This was fun to record generally. Rob, you're the best. Guys, check out Vanderpump Rob's his podcast about Vanderpump Rules and the different various shows that air on Bravo when Vanderpump Rules is off the air with his
Mhm.
friend Kate. You can also check out his podcast with his friend Bill. I don't know what it's called.
It's called Bill and Rob's.
Bill and Rob's. And then yeah, please survive.
Right.
Survivor podcast. It's PLZ Survive. And we'll talk to you soon. Subscribe to Patreon for the video. Bye.
Bye.